We've now marked up stomach 40, as you can see here, and I'm going to move along to look for stomach 41 here on the flexure of the ankle. So the best way of finding this is if I hold and support Jake's foot against my tummy, and it just says, okay, if I put my foot, and I need to look here, and I need to look for the flexure of the ankle. Jake's got quite, just put that there. But I'm actually going to double check what the book says about the positioning of this point. So, on the anterior aspect of the lower limb, on the anterior aspect of the flexure of the ankle, between the tendons of the extensor digitorum longus and extensor hallucis longus muscles. And just for the record, if I come down here and look, I'm looking here for this gap between these muscles. There. So again, and the best way for me to palpate this is if I can get wiggle toes, and if I can get Jake to wiggle his toes, I can see movement in the muscle. Now I'm going to ask you to, now do it flat now. And that's perfect, yes. Okay, that was in the right space. I'm going to move on to the foot now. Stomach 42, rising yang. Stomach 42 is on the dorsum of the foot, between the tendons of the extensor digitorum longus and hallucis muscle, in the hollow between the navicular bone and immediate cuneiform bone and the lateral cuneiform bone. This description is more proximal to the other common locations. And I say that because, as you can see in this book, there's a stomach 42 and a stomach 42. This is a preferred point that CTA use, but other people have been known to place this point here. So if I flip here to the picture of the foot, and I read that again, what I'm looking for is the navicular bone and the cuneiform bone. And these will be the bones of the foot here. So I'm looking to just place it around there. And if I come back and if I support Jake's foot again, here it's not muscles I'm looking for necessarily, it's the position on the foot. And if I point your toes like a ballet dancer, point your toes, I'm looking for a plateau that's around here. Point and stretch. And that will be there. 42. Now 43. We're looking for this. It's on the dorsum of the foot, at the highest point of the dorsum on the foot, between the basis of the second and third metatarsal bones and the intermediate and lateral cuneiform bones. This location is more distal to other common locations. Okay, that's the alternative for 42 there. 43. On the dorsum of the foot, at the junction of the second and third metatarsal bones, distal to the flare of the base of the second metatarsal bone. If we look here, these are the metatarsals, this is the second and third, and if it's like distal to the flare, I'm just looking above, well, just looking below these distal flares here. So I would like to place my point around there. be able to feel for these points, I'm looking between the second and third metatarsal. I'm going to see if I can squeal when this hurts, identify the bones here by pushing up through the skin there. I'm going to pop this point in here. Okay. Moving on to stomach 44, the inner courtyard. On the dorsum of the foot, between the second and third digits, proximal to the web margin, distal to the metatarsophalangeal joint of the second digit. The metatarsal phalangeal joint is across here, because these are the metatarsal bones, these are the phalangeal joints. So between the second and the third, I'm looking here. The web margin on Jake is here, but I'm not really going to look at that at the minute. I'm just going to look for the flare of the bone. And here, I'll place that point there. And for my nail point with Jake, this is stomach 45, hard bargain. Location of the foot at the lateral nail point of the second digit, approximately 0.1 cm approximate to the corner of the nail, just distal to the flare of the phalange. Look in here. Just make a slight mark here. I'm feeling the flare there. That's right at the corner of my bark. So I'll make this point here. And this is the stomach meridian. Running down the seam of this muscle, sorry Jake, down to here, back up, and joining back down to here, across the foot, and running up to here to the toe. So, thank you for being a good model. Thank you very much, Jake. And thank you, Mark, for doing the camera work.